Hello, my name's Elizabeth Price, and this is Seeing Ink Spots, my Facebook page. And I do things here, everything all about stamping. And so like many of you, you're a fan of paper crafting, and so you might want to watch along today as I upstyle my paper pumpkin kit from October. I'm going to officially begin, even though we don't have anybody popped on just yet, but I know a few of you will jump on and maybe watch a replay later on. But hello, Lois. Now I do have several people watching, so I will officially begin. I was about to, but now I'm really going to. So, good Thursday morning, and welcome to Upstyle Your Paper Pumpkin. Today, I am using the Home from the Holidays Paper Pumpkin Kit from October. And we're gonna have some fun making some Christmas cards, tags, goodies, you name it. We're gonna run the gamut here today. So hello, Kathleen. Hello, Karen. Good to have you guys here. Do pop on with comments. It makes it a lot more interactive and fun when you do that. So let's see here. Got a little bit of a crazy, there we go. All right, Lois from Florida. What part of Florida? That's so cool that you're here. It's so fun to have people far and wide, near and far and wide. All right, I am going to flip my camera around. Good to see you too, Karen. It's always fun to have you here, a fellow avid crafter. And that's what I like to do. But today we are, like I said, I'm gonna flip my camera and we're going to use the Home from the Holidays Paper Pumpkin Kit. And we're just kind of making some easy projects, some that are a little more stepped up, but everything, you know, not a whole ton of stamping, a little bit more paper crafting because I'm using the elements from the kit. So here we go. Here comes the big flipperooski here, North Florida. So Lois is in North Florida, 40 minutes from the Georgia line. Awesome. So cool. So cool. Yes, there's my hand. Let's switch. There we go. Okay, let me just do a little dialing in here, straighten things up. Light things up. Okay, so you know that's what we're doing today. We're upstyling this kit here. Now, I will say by the end of today, you will have some leftover pieces and some leftover glue, whatnot. Save whatever you have extra because this kit is designed to coordinate with next month's Paper Pumpkin Kit. I'm not quite sure what it's going to be, but it's going to be cool. So I'm gonna save anything extra and hold on to it and combine it with next month's Upstyle Your Paper Pumpkin class. And we'll get to that in just a little bit here. Okay, it's November. I have a new host code. And with this host code, a $50 purchase on this will get you a Technique Time kit for November. So that's gonna be a lot of fun. So keep that in mind. If you want a free kit, you can also purchase the kit, and I'll talk about that in a minute. But keep in mind that there is a host code for November. We'll just stick this over here for the meanwhile, maybe move it in a bit. Coming up in 2 weeks, I have a Use It Up class, and this Use It Up class is going to be fun. I am going to be using up my Cheerful Daisies DSP, and I'm going to feature the Abundant Beauty masks. I love these. And I'm also going to combine it with the Layering Leaves stamp set and the Bow Punch, okay? And so many people have earned this Use It Up kit. It was part of my Studio Ink Spots stamp camp last month. And those who ordered option 1 or 2 have a Use It Up kit in their possession somewhere. Hello, Lori. Good to have you here. So that's coming up. That will be in the Backstage Pass. Now, some of you might wonder what the Backstage Pass is. It is where I do even more stamping for the rest of the month. So I do Paper Pumpkin here on my page, but then in a private group, I have lots more classes and photos and fun and videos and all kinds of stuff going on there. So that's where that class is held. Anybody can join that group. All you have to do is join in for one of my Technique Time classes and you're in. and you have access to so many past classes and even to future ones. So this month's Technique Time will be on, usually it's a week earlier, but because of Thanksgiving, I've moved it a week out. So we are the 30th of November, which is a Thursday. So I'll be doing the Facebook Live in the Backstage Pass. And then usually I have a Zoom session the night after on Friday. But because I have an obligation on the 1st, I'm actually moving it to the 2nd. So be aware of that. Technique Time, we're going to take a deep dive into the Meandering Meadow Suite Collection stamp set. It's the Garden Meadow and then the Garden Meadow dies. This is just one sheet. There's another sheet behind that. And there's great paper. So it's going to be a super class. We're going to see the ribbon and the birds and dragonflies and just all kinds of stuff. Then in December, we have our Upstyle. That's coming up. Upstyle Your Paper Pumpkin will be on the 7th of December. And I don't have a notice for a Use It Up class in December, but I am doing a Use It Up class. We're going to be making tags. And so that Use It Up class came with anybody's class, Technique Time class last month. I packed it with some extra stuff. So we're going to use all of those leftovers up. Okay, Technique Time for December. It's all posted up on my blog, on Seeing Ink Spot's page, and in the Backstage Pass. Technique Time for December. This will be my 4th annual desktop calendar. And I should have brought out last year's, but it's a 13-page. It ends up getting pretty stacked and chunky, but it's spiral bound and it's designed to stand up right on your desk. And so this class is going to be a lot of fun. It's a popular class. I am going to be featuring the Magical Meadow Suite in this year's coming up calendar. And you need to register by the 16th of December so that I can get it to you on time for a class on the 29th. Kits will ship to your door for $48 or the PDF and access to everything on the 18th of December. I'm sorry, for $18. So my son needs me to get into my computer here real fast. So I'm just entering my password. All right, so that is the news of what is coming up. Last announcement, mark your calendars. Studio Ink Spots will return February 9th of 2024, the 15th through the 17th as well. Don't know what it's going to be, but we know it's going to be awesome. If you don't know what Studio Ink Spots is, this is what I call my intensive stamp camps, and it's 4 days of games, presentations, stamping, of course, lots more stamping, and a virtual swap. It's all kinds of fun. So join me for that. Mark your calendar. More info coming at a later date. All right, let's do what we're going to do today, and that is have some fun with this paper pumpkin kit. I mean, look how cute the box is. I don't know what to do with the box, but I really like the box. Maybe I'll put a tag on the front and use it as a gift box. But, okay, we're going to start out super simple today. We're starting out super simple, and we're going to use elements from the kit. These are all elements from the kit. I'm not adding anything. All right. So I have and hopefully you guys, I can get you to see it. Maybe not. But I have pre-done my glitter glue that comes with the kit. Here's the little glitter glue that comes with this kit. You know, we had this a while back. I don't remember what we called it. But I know, like, generally people would call it stickles. And so I used mine. And gosh, I just wish you could see. So I've done some in the trees. I've done some on the roof line, kind of like they've said, and even out on the snow a little bit. So that's done ahead of time so that I could actually maneuver with this and not get it all over the place. And then I have 2 of the pieces from the kit. And so this is the way the card goes in the kit, right? Something like this. Well, we're going to kind of do it just like this, but we're going to make one change. We're going to fold this inward. Okay, so fold that inward, and we're just changing things up ever so slightly just to kind of get our feet wet, get used to this kit, and, you know, kind of look at the stamps and see what we've got going. Okay, so now that I've folded it, I'm going to put that score line in my paper trimmer. Okay, so there's that. Hello, Joanne, glad you're here. Terry DeFont is here, glad you're here as well. And any others, say hello, tell us where you're from. Tell us if you have, okay, so let me know. Have you guys started any Christmas cards or tags or anything of the sort? Just curious. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna slice this right on the score line there, down to 2 3/4. So I'm stopping at the 2 3/4 mark. Okay, and then I'm gonna turn my card and I'm gonna put it at 2 3/4. Okay, I'm gonna put this left edge here at 2 3/4. And I'm gonna start at the score line and just take this top corner right out. Danny, hello, she's on her lunch break. Okay, and so now my card is gonna be more like a Dutch door card front, so that's that. Save this. Let me tell you why it's important as we chop apart some of our cards today, why I wanna save any of these pieces. And that is, let me show you real quick. I mean, I love basic white, right? It's great. But you can see there's a little bit, and you can definitely see, you know what? You know why you can't see the difference? Because this isn't basic white. This is a leftover card base. There's basic white. So you see how basic white is just a little bit creamier? This has a cooler tone to it. So these two are both leftovers from working with my kit. I want to match my whites. So save your white pieces so that as you're assembling cards, your pieces are the same white. Sometimes it doesn't matter, but sometimes it does. So just hold on to those. Don't lose them. Keep them handy. Gonna put them in a pile there. All right, so now I'm just gonna do this the exact way that the card actually was shown, okay? So I'm gonna add some dimensionals to this. Here's my dimensionals from the kit. We're gonna give this some lovely dimension. And so that I don't put dimensionals in the wrong spot, I'm gonna go ahead and put them on my card front flap, or the bottom half of the Dutch door here. So far, Lois has made 9 different Christmas card styles. Does that mean more than 9? Or you've started with 9 designs and you're ready to make more of them? Or do you do, and I guess that should also be a question. Oops, I've got this one dimensional here showing. Okay, so there is that. And I might just pick this up and move it just a skosh. So that's another thing. Do you guys make all of the same card? That's another question. Or do you vary them up and kind of like, you know, make different ones because you get a little, you know, it gets a little tiring having the same one over and over, making the same one over and over. Just curious what you guys do. Okay, so now I have kind of put dimensionals in some weird spots. Usually 2 to 3 of each style. Nice, nice. That sounds super cool. I've made some, not a whole huge stash. Okay, so now my card, instead of a card front the way they had it, it opens just a little bit different. That way you've got some fun design on the inside. Now let's finish this up with all kinds of goodness here. I am going to use the Real Red Spot from the kit. So basically, this is a project that just uses elements from the kit. I haven't introduced anything new. So, and I'm gonna stamp, you could stamp Happy Holidays. I have both Happy Holidays and Merry Christmas on a block here. I think I'm gonna do Merry Christmas. I like that. So I'm just gonna ink this up in the spot. So this is Real Red. I believe next month, the kits coordinate, I mentioned that. But I believe the color spot, it's a green. I don't remember which green, if it's Mossy Meadow or Old Olive or Garden Green, but it's a green of some color. And so it's kind of nice to have both a red and a green. And then that makes us totally rounded out for the Christmas season. So there's my Merry Christmas. Keeping it sweet and simple. And you saw I stamped on the paper piercing pad, not so much because I wanted a cushion underneath, but because I wanted that contrast between the white and the dark brownish gray, right? So that I could see right where I was putting that stamp. So I do that a lot. Now I'm gonna add that just as they've designed to this cute little label of white. But what I've noticed with this, and you know, they've given you glue dots, but I'm not going to use glue dots. It's really hard to get paper to stick to, it's hard for me to get paper to stick to glitter paper. So I'm using my Seal Plus there and just using that to tack that down. Okay, got a little bit of it hanging off. Let me move it over just a skosh. You know, I've got extra adhesive right there. All right, clean it up now while it's easy to do. Get rid of that. Okay, so now I'm going to burnish this on here nice and tight. Okay, and I got a piece of it right there. I like how it comes in pieces. Okay, and then this is just going to set right there. And you could put dimensionals on this or you could glue it. It just really depends on what you want to do. I think I'm going to do just glue. I feel like it's already pretty puffy. And I mean, I love dimension. Don't get me wrong. I use dimensionals all the time. I'm kind of, you know, I use a few products a lot. These will be your cards. Awesome. That's cool, Terry. They are cute. They're very, very cute. I mean, just the way they've been designed, I think they're fabulous. But it's always fun to do just a little rearranging, right? So we haven't done much rearranging here. I am going to open the card here, and I'm going to use the image in the set that says, "Celebrate the wonder and joy of this festive season." And I'll stamp that in red as well. Okay, now this particular layout, if you wanted to, you could write on the back, or if you just kind of wanted to quickly pump out a fun, sweet message, you could, you know, stamp this right about here where it's going to hide behind this panel here. And then you could sign your name, you know, like put the recipient up here, you know, and then your name down here and be done. You don't have to write a whole bunch. You can just say it in a stamp. There's that. Then you are going to take your glitter glue here and come in and just do it up however you like. So I would do all the roofs and the trees, but for time's sake, because I want to get to so many more projects, I am going to hold off on that, and because it takes time to dry. So after class, I'll go ahead and I'll glitter glue everything. So Lois says, "I live in a wooded subdivision, and this is a nice card for the new neighbors." Oh yeah, that sounds so pretty, a wooded subdivision. So a couple of years ago, in fact, it was February of 2020. So right before COVID kind of hit, we did a trip we did Orlando. So we were doing Disney World, and then we toured up the coast of Florida, Georgia, and South Carolina and had a good time. And I love all the woods in there. It's so pretty. Okay. So keeping it super simple here, folks, there's our first alternative, is just turning this the other direction and turning it into kind of a Dutch door look. I like that. It's simple, and we got our feet wet. We're now working with the stamps and the pieces in this kit. All right, so let's see what's next. All right, so this next project is actually going to be a double project, and I am going to use, it feels like I have two of these. I guess I don't. Okay. Really does feel like I have two. Okay, so you need one of these card bases. So this is the landscape card base, and then the houses that go with this, okay? And your trimmer. So first things first, I am going to cut the card right on the score line here. So there's that. Remember when I mentioned save these pieces of white? We need this color white to match our kit. So put that in your stash. Now, this, we're going to take it and chop it right in half at 2 3/4. Okay. And one of my favorite things during the holidays is making really pretty tags. More so than cards, I love doing tags even more. So that's where I'm headed with this. I bet you could have guessed. So since I chopped that in half, I'm going to chop this in half. So I'm just turning it upside down so that I have a straight edge. So there's 2 3/4. And now we'll just turn this back around. We'll bring that out of the way. And so now you can kind of set up with whichever houses you want to put wherever. But so this one's going to go there and that one's going to go there. Pretty easy, right? We're just repurposing, retooling the pieces that they've given us. I'm going to bring in one of my favorite tag gizmos here. So this is a great one for using and creating the hole for your tag. And if you want, you know, depending on which design corner you like. So I'm going to do, I will say, so this is this the Tag Trio Punch? I can't remember the name of it. I'm terrible. Hopefully one of you knows the name. Hey, Tara's on with us. Glad you're here. So for this punch, what I found best, don't cut the corners first. What I want you to do is do the slot first. That way you have more of a straight edge to go in and, you know, steady yourself and straighten yourself with this punch. So there's that. Now I'll do the same thing on this one. So just eyeball center. But see, if you've got your tag, your corners punched, you just have a tiny little area in the middle and you can't totally feel where you're going with that. Okay, so there's that. Now I'm going to just do my corners. And the nice thing about this corner is it doesn't matter how you put it in. If you put it in this way and then turn it this way, your corner is going to turn out exactly the same. This one's not the same because this design is different than going the other direction. So you have to kind of, if you were doing this one, you would have to flip this over and then go in and flip it, you know, kind of punch it, then flip it is what I meant to say. But I like this angled corner. That's my favorite. Okay. Just like that. Take all those pieces out of the way here. Okay, so keeping it easy, we're just going to put our pieces on like so with dimensionals, just like it showed. Actually, I'm not going to do that just yet. Hold on, don't put them on. Bring in your pad once more, and we're going to stamp the bottoms of these. So it does work if they're already on the tag, but it's a lot easier and you're not going over dimensionals if it's not there. Okay, so I'm going to bring red in. Again, we're just using elements from the kit. Hey, Marlene, it's good to have you here. All right, so this one, I'm going to use Happy Holidays for one. We'll mix it up a little bit here. And maybe Merry Christmas on the other one. It doesn't really matter. Just pick one. And so look how perfect these greetings fit on just half of this element. Perfect. Perfect. It was meant to be. It's a perfect little paper, you know, measurement. Okay, so I'm just inking up the Merry Christmas now. And I can see I've caught an edge there. So I'm going to just, you know, muck up the thumbs here, right? And then look how this one fits in here nicely as well. Okay, that's it on the stamping. What you could do is flip this over and you could add this greeting as well, you know, especially if this is going to be like a tag for a little neighbor gift. But I think I'm going to mix things up just a little bit here and bring in some boho blue. And I'm going to keep using my red for the greeting. But I have brought in boho blue because I want to add a few snowflakes to the back of this. Just to have some fun with the stamps, you know. So you could put their name on the top, then you could sign the bottom. And I can't see what I'm doing with the white on white. So, oh, that helps a ton. So there's my greeting. And then with boho, you could use boho, misty, balmy, just about anything. Let's just add a few snowflakes, just like so. And then maybe kind of one right down in here. So keeping it simple, nothing wild and crazy, especially, you know, during the holidays when you have lots to do and all the fun to go and, you know, keep you busy. So let's see here. We're going to grab our dimensionals. These are the dimensionals from the kit. And so I'm just going to pop some on here randomly. I mean, not super randomly, but I don't need a ton. It's a tag. It's not going to go through the mail. And let's do this one here. So I'm just putting that at the base of the tag. Cute. Same thing here. Cute, cute. Simple, simple. And then what I've done after this is I've gone to my stash of ribbons. And, I have, ribbons that are like leftover. I've got them on the bolts and whatnot, how we get them from Stampin' Up. But when there's just a little piece left, I kind of pin them up on a board. And so like I have just some random pieces, and some of these are old. In fact, both of these are old. This one's not old. This is the boho blue ribbon that we carry right now, but it's a scrap. This is all I have left. So I'm using up my scraps. Use what you have. And so I'm just bringing this in here. And I am using up, this is Starry Sky. This is the in-colored baker's twine. So this is all I have left of the in-colored baker's twine. And so I'm just gonna cut some of this off. And so I'm just finishing off these tags. Go in your stash and grab the colors that are gonna work. So blues, whites, reds, even some greens and some silver and some gold. It's all gonna be pretty. But I'm going to tie a double knot right there just so that it makes it easier so I can handle and tie this bow. Okay, make it cute. Even up your ends here. And there you have it. And then I like to come in, and this was the side that I went through the hole. Okay, clean that edge up as well. Even up my tails. And then of course I would finish this with the glitter glue, or you could even finish it up with a little bit of Wink of Stella. I think my favorite like Stampin' Up embellishments probably would be Wink of Stella and twine. I love that. Or like a really thin ribbon like this. I think this was the Playful Animals ribbon or something from a while ago. Anyhow, so you get the idea. I would just maybe run this one in here like so. And here's what I do, folks. I know some people like just a little short ribbon on there, but I actually use these. So, and I like to tie big bows on packages. And so this allows me to come in and around, I can tie it around the bow. And I still have, this is actually, it's pretty on the tag, even before I put it on, but it's functional. It's very functional. All right. So let me just use up this piece here. All about using and getting it onto a project so that everything gets used. So I need to go through and find some more. These were just the few that I found real easy. I know I have another box of ribbons and things, so I'll use those and get them used up. All right, so there's a couple tags. Again, do the roof lines, the trees, or maybe you want to dot the stars this time, but have some fun with that glitter glue. So we took one card and turned it into a couple tags. All righty, those are fun. Moving right along. Okay, this next card. Again, we're using elements from the kit. Let me show you what we're going to use. We are going to use, so we're mixing them up this time. So this is from one card design and this is from the other. So we're going to use those. We're going to use one of the banners, right? And I'm going to use this card base. But I'm also bringing in a couple pieces, and you could use Misty Moonlight, you could use Boho Blue, you could use Night of Navy. Just use any of the blues that you like. Let me get this out of the way. All right, and we're going to make kind of a cool, it kind of has, not a stair step, but it's going to be kind of interesting. Okay, so let me tell you about this piece, because it looks like it's 5.5 by 8.5, but it's not. It is 5.5 tall by 8.25 inches. So 8.25. All right, and so I'm going to actually rotate this. And so let me tell you where my score lines are. So this is 8.25 wide, and I'm going to score at 2 inches. And so I've already done it, but we'll just pretend. There's 2 inches. And now I'm going to score it at 4 inches. All right. And then that leaves me with 4.25. All right, by 5.5. So there's our standard size. Now, the reason I shrunk this down is because this element here, when it was 2 2 1/8, it showed too much, and so the dimension. So that's why I just took some of that out right there. So let's go ahead and fold on our score lines. This one is going to fold back, and this one is going to fold forward. Okay. Now, when this is actually going to be a landscape card, and I'll show you how we're going to kind of put it all together. It's actually really simple. Now let's actually fold this one as well. Okay. This is going to end up being a thick card. So I'm going to marry these two pieces together just like so. So I'm going to glue them, and that's going to be our kind of our profile is like a funky mountain range, okay? So let me put some glue on this. We'll put it on the Misty Moonlight side here. Okay. And here is the card front. I'm going to put that. And so we're just going to slide that right in there. Okay. So here now is our card front. Does it make sense? I think it's pretty straightforward. Okay. Now, our pieces are pretty easy, but we have one more piece that's kind of a mechanical piece for this one. Welcome, Karen. Good to have you here. This piece here is a 3x3 piece of Misty Moonlight. You could use a scrap of your white that we've been using and cutting away, but I have this one pre-done, and I've scored it at 3/4, 1.5, and 2 1/4, okay? So you're just scoring every 3/4 of an inch, and I'm gonna fold inward on all of them. So one more time, you just kind of, so you can see them. This is 3x3, and I've scored it 3/4, 1.5, 2 1/4, okay? Pretty easy. Now I'm gonna flip this over, and on this side, I am going to add some glue to this tab and this tab. And I'll open this up so you can see exactly where I've put that glue. So it's on the outer 2 tabs, okay? Yeah, this card is it's pretty easy. Now I'm looking at this center fold line, and I'm going to put that right here. And what I love about the green cap glue is that it allows me to kind of wiggle things from side to side if I need to adjust my placement. Okay. But we'll just kind of let that stick. And now what happens when this folds, that will fold in like so. Okay. Just like that. And it's given us a landing spot for this set of homes. And then this one will sit on the front. Okay, so let's put those on. I am just going to glue these. There's plenty of dimension. So when I glue this one, let me open this up and kind of, let me train it just a little bit with my bone folder here. Okay. Yeah, that's better. And I'm going to just do glue on this bottom section right here. Okay. So you wouldn't want to squirt glue all across this because this is actually larger than. And now center this. And what you want to do is make sure you don't want to be like right on top. You want to give yourself just a little bit of a hairline right there down on the bottom so that when this shuts, it doesn't hang up on itself, if you know what I mean. Get caught up on itself. Okay, there's that one. And now we'll close this and put that one on. Look how cute that is. Super, super cute. So we'll just give a little swoosh of glue down here. And notice I just put it on the bottom, knowing that this is going there. Okay. Super cute. It's fun. It's dimensional. I like it. I like it, like it. Okay, so now you can kind of play with things, and you could do your greeting down in here. You could do it up in here, but I kind of don't want to cover that moon. You just decide what you want to do. And so I'm going to stamp this. I think I'm going to stamp it in the red again. I kind of like that contrast of the red with the blue. And I'm going to stamp Merry Christmas. I like that one. I like them both, but I prefer the Merry Christmas. Okay, bring in my contrast color so I can stamp my greeting. Just like that. Okay, and that will add to that. And I'm also going to bring in some linen thread. I love some linen thread, so I'm just going to take a chunk here, just about 12 inches or so, and tie a bow. Whoops, I kind of want it a little bigger than that. I got it a little too small. Okay, just trying to tie a bow here. There we go. Now I'm going to take this, and I'm just going to kind of cut it off here. Whoops. Dropping things. Clean that out of the way here. Okay, so I have my bow, and let me bring in, I have an alternative one here. This one is similar. It's a little bit different in that I've used the top of one of the cards. So the other card, so rather than the houses, so that one I tied my bow around that piece and then put my Happy Holidays up there. But this one, I could do my bow right in there and just kind of stretch that across. Could do something like that. Or you can kind of play with it a little, and maybe I want to do one right in there, kind of behind that. But then the only problem is, as you stand this card up, it's like, well, what the heck is a bow just doing stuck up in the sky? So those are the kinds of things I evaluate as I'm making something. You could also even just kind of come around and tie this one and have that bow inside there. But I think what I like best is just right here on the front. Okay. We train this just a little bit more here, folks. I'm trying to get this fold in here. Ugh, it's a little thick right through there. Okay. There's that. I feel like we have a lot of stuff going on, even though it's one card. I'm going to do just a tiny little bit of Seal Plus right in there so that I can kind of grab my linen thread just like so. And then I'm going to take the Merry Christmas, and I will use my dimensionals here. And I'm going to do one there. And I'm going to skip the middle just because I have that linen thread. And I don't want that dimensional up on that because then it starts to get a little bit thick and wonky. And we've already got enough thickness in this card with all these layers in here. Whoops. We want to put it on right side up. And I'm just going to center this, which I'm not really one that usually centers things. But in this case, it just works. You know, we've got the off center and the asymmetry going on with the houses. And so there it is. It's kind of cute. This one's a little different in that I didn't keep the back. I just did the front. And so this one, it does stand up, but not quite as easily as the other one. And I could just, you know, write on the back or add a white piece to the back. But I thought, well, then why not just keep it attached? So that's the great thing about making a card a second time is you get to make the new and improved methods, if you know what I mean. Now, again, I'm not going to do it for time's sake, but I am going to come in here afterwards. When I finish, I'm going to come in and like on my counter, I'm just going to get them all out and I'm going to glitter glue all of them. And it takes about a half an hour for it to dry. But look how cute it is. Hopefully you guys can see it, but I did add it into the snow here, and it really just wakes this up. It's really quite fun. So there's a couple versions here. Which one do you like better? With the back flap so you have somewhere to write, or without? You tell me. I like the fronts of both. I think they're kind of fun. I could have even trimmed this down just a little bit, but it does fit. So either way, there are those. All right, we're gonna mix things up just a little bit and do a fun fold here with this one. Kathleen says with the back with, so Terry says with, Marlene says back flap. Yeah, that's why I say, when you're making it a second time, you go, oh, that would have been brighter to do that. And you like the moon showing. Yes, I like the moon showing too. Okay, so on this one, I have to share with you though, the reason I put my greeting here, and there is a moon under there, but that moon shows also, and I'm like, when you have it open, we don't have two moons from our view on Earth, right? So I kept it to one moon. All right, using some more of these houses. So these are the pieces I'm going to use from the kit. So I've got the banner and the two houses, and then I'm bringing in some, and I'm also using one of the glitters and one of the trees this time. But I'm bringing in some pieces of, extra pieces here. And so this is cherry cobbler, not too hard, and it's 4 1/4 square. All right, cherry cobbler, 4 1/4 square. Then I have 2 quarter sheets of Poppy Parade. This one is just a quarter sheet, so it's 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. This one is also 4 1/4 by 5 1/2, and I made a couple score lines on here. So let's go over these score lines. This first score line is going to be at 1 3/8. So at 1 3/8, you're scoring. Then you're going to slide it over to 2 3/4. Okay, so those are your score lines. If you can see them there, they're kind of hard to see. Those are your score lines. Don't take your trimmer away. We're going to bring in one of those pieces of leftover. So here's my leftover white pieces. I'm going to take this piece here. And this piece, because I want my whites to match, this piece is going to be 4 inches. So I'm just going to trim off some of it. So that's trash. And then I'm going to rotate, and it's going to be 2 1/2. Okay, so one more time. This piece is 2 1/2 inches wide by 4 inches tall. Okay, so there we have that. Now we have all of our pieces for our card, except for this one right here we haven't talked about. So this comes from, these are ginormous. Look, I can't even get them into the screen. These are the Warm Wishes cards and envelopes. So these are the add-on, and let's see if I can get this to focus. The number here is 163985. These are the cards. These are the add-ons. You have to be a Paper Pumpkin subscriber in order to purchase these, but you get 20 of these. Look at these cards. They're already pre-glittered for you. So you get 20 cards and these are 5 by 7 cards, okay, and 20 envelopes. And so you can see, oops, that's not an envelope. This is my leftovers. So you can see that's where I got my piece of paper here. So you could use the paper from the front. You just might want to make this so that it hits to the inside, so that's centered. But I actually used this back flap right in here. So that's where this piece came from. So you're just going to cut apart one of the envelopes so that you have what we call Designer Series envelope paper. Keep one of these handy. We're going to use those in a minute too. All right, so that's where this lovely, fun poppy and cherry paper came from. Okay, so let's start here since I have this cut. By the way, you guys, this is just your standard measurement. It's 4 by 5 1/4. So I'm just going to mat that onto that 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 piece of Poppy Parade. And I'll do that with a little bit of green cap glue. Okay. And so this fun fold we're doing, I have no idea what the name is for it. I learned it from Erica Serwin, from watching some of her Facebook Fridays That, or I'm not entirely, I'm sure I got it from her. I just don't remember when and where. So there's that first little bit. That's real easy. Now I want to talk about this piece here. We're going to fold back on that 1 3/8 score line and give that a good burnish. And then we'll fold forward on the 2 3/4. I'm just going to open that so that I can get to that and burnish that one. And I'm going to put adhesive on this back side. So here we are. So this section here, but the back side. So let's flip that over, put our adhesive on. Whoops. I don't like getting adhesive on my work surface because then I get it on other projects. And here's how I like to actually put this on. I'm going to hold it up for just a second so that it doesn't, I don't get it on anything. But this flap right here, this fold line, I'm going to fold that right over the card, just kind of like so. See how I kind of folded it over? That's how I know where to put, and then I'm just going to walk that straight out, and that's how I know where to put this one. Okay? That way, if you wanted to, because the card's going to do this action, but if you wanted to open it flat, you could and get in there and, you know, write a message or whatever. Okay, so there's the beginning of that. Does everybody understand that mechanism? Super, super simple. And then our cherry cobbler here is going to sit right on top. So we're only going to put adhesive, though, on this piece here because we don't want it getting in the wrong spot. And now take your cherry cobbler. I'm just going to kind of squish that down and wiggle this into place. Get it centered the way you like it. I'm going to slide it over just a skosh. And we'll burnish that adhesive. It's right over here on this side. And now we have a great card base to add our elements here. And so these are how our elements are going to go. I bet you didn't guess. Just kind of right like this. Okay. And then this piece is going to come inside, right in there. So we have a space to write. And we're going to have a greeting. And I'll show you those afterwards. So now you know where we're going. Let's do a little bit of stamping though. So I'm going to take our piece of white that's going inside, and I'm going to do our inside greeting here, and we'll stamp it in red, in the real red. I like using, I call it clashing reds when we're mixing like poppy and real red and cherry cobbler. Put them all together and they look wonderful. Okay, even though they kind of clash. Let's see if I can do this one centered this time. There we go. Better than the first time I stamped it on that tag. I'm like, did anybody notice how off center it was? It's okay, it's handmade, right? So this is going on the inside. And so this is why I like to put this piece on so that I can just wrap it to the back like that. And add that right in here. We'll add that with glue. So are you a glue fan, or do you prefer like Seal Plus, or what's your preferred method of adhesive? So there's that. And this, I was planning to kind of tuck right in there. Okay, I'm going to wait on these two pieces because I want to see how they relate with the front of what we're doing. But since we have our piercing pad out, let's stamp this. And we'll stamp it with, oh, I grabbed Merry Christmas. We'll give this stamp some equal play time here, and I'll use the Happy Holidays. Tombow for Marlene. I do like the Seal Plus. I have it handy. I don't prefer, I don't really buy the Seal. I just buy the Seal Plus. Okay, here's my Happy Holidays. Fun, 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 fun. Simple, simple. Okay, let's bring in our dimensionals. Maggie, you're a combo. Maggie, hello. Good to see you here. Yeah, it depends on what you're doing, what the need is. I mean, dimensionals, of course. But when it comes to like gluing a layer, you know, like a layer of DSP down to a, you know, a card base, I definitely like, hold on, before we do that, I've gotten ahead of myself. I want to stamp some snowflakes in here. I definitely like the Tombow glue. All right, I'm cleaning the blue off. Now these might not show too much, but I do want to do, let me just bring my houses in here. I'm just going to kind of give myself a few little snowflakes in the sky, just for a little bit of texture. Okay, let's get one off the page. Get some scratch paper in here. Look at that scratch paper, isn't it lovely? But now I can kind of come off the edge. Come off the edge over here as well. And we'll do one more right there. Okay, good enough. I just wanted to add a little bit. Okay. A little bit of fun up in the sky. And now this one is going to stretch across right there. And if you want, you can raise it up. You just kind of decide what you want to do. So what I'll do is I'll put my dimensionals on, and then I'll look at both of them together to see what's going to be good. So there's that one. And then this one. I think I will raise it up just a little bit, not a ton. Just a little. Strip dimensionals have now become, okay, so Lois, why, are you talking about the long, narrow ones that you use for like shaker cards? Because yeah, I could see the benefit of that. I don't ever bust them out. I guess I should. Tell me more. Okay, this is going to be another puffy card. Puffy, puffy. And I'm going to double stack right here. Okay, yeah, okay. Thanks, Lois. That's a good tip. I know when I use the foam adhesive sheets, and then you have all these funky, like when you die cut something, you have all these leftover pieces in them. I leave those nearby, and I use those all up. So I end up having some really weird shapes. Okay, there's that. And I'm going to take my Happy Holidays, and it's going to come here. It could go up in here as well, but I think I'm going to take it down here. And I'm thinking that I'm thinking I don't want dimensionals, which is unusual for me, because it's just already, I would rather have the dimension on the houses, if you know what I mean. So I'm going to just center that one right there. Oops, I got glue on it. Shoot, queen. Okay, there's that. And I think I do want to add a little bit of linen thread. I kind of lost all my snowflakes in there. Maybe I'll do one more since I lost them all. One more. Kind of right there. There we go. And I was just going to do a little bit. And you could have gone all the way around, but you would have had to have gone around before you glued that panel on. But I'm just going to give a little bit of action up in here. And because this doesn't open, like on that other card, I said, well, that's kind of weird that we just have a random bow in the sky. But if we want to add just a little bit of texture right in there, we can. And so I'm going to use a glue dot. A glue dot on the knot is what I like to say. You're watching in the car, Kayleen. Where are you going? Where are you headed? All right. So now I'm just going to flip that over and tuck this behind this little house. Actually, it's a big house, big 3-story house right in there. I'm colliding into a dimensional. So let me do just a little lift. Get this in there. There we go. Okay, easy peasy right there. It's a little thick right there. I might have to play with my dimensional because it's a little cattywampus, but I'll do that off screen. And again, just as before, come in here and add your glitter. But I think what would be really cute is just to do just a tiny touch to these snowflakes to kind of bring those out. I'll have to do that off camera so that I don't smear it. But I do want to finish right in here. And remember I said I wanted to see how this played out. But is to add just another tree right in here. Just adding a little bit of extra decor. And maybe, so I'd thought about that, and I've also thought about just kind of, I'm just playing here. Do I want to do it like so? I like it down. I like it this way. So I'll do that with this stuff. So it sticks nice and tight. Good. So it's just a nice punch of inside decor, kind of bringing that village over to the side a little bit. And I'll put this one on with this as well. Get all over my fingers. Okay. And again, I've got them going off the edge. Just tuck those back. And I'm just going to kind of come in right here at my seam. All right. So just a little extra added punch of color in there. And again, this is going to bug me until I fix it. There we go. That's much better. It's sitting flat now. Anyhow, just a cute, fun fold that I thought you might like using those elements. A little different, but fun. And we still have more to go, folks. The next two projects are going to use, these are the In Color treat bags. And so you get them in Moody Mauve, Copper Clay, Wild Wheat, Pebbled Path, and Boho. So this first project I am going to use, and let me bring these back in so you can see, 2023-25 In Color treat bags. This is what I'm using. And I am using, okay, you have to tell me, I love Wild Wheat. Some people are like, no, I don't like wild wheat, but I love it. So I'm going to be using wild wheat, a wild wheat bag. I'm not even going to do anything to it. I'm just going to use the bag as it is. And I'm using some elements from the kit, okay? Using more of the houses. This is such an easy project, you guys. But I want you to see I'm also using this scrap here. Okay, and so let's start with that scrap. So I have two of the houses again. I'm going to use this lower one. And I'm simply going to take this and with my snips, I'm just going to eyeball. I want a little edge of glitter on here, a little narrower than the houses themselves. So I'm just going to trim it right there. Okay, and I'll trim there and there. That's it. Look at all these extra little strips of shiny glitter you can put into things. The hardest thing is making them stick, right? But I'll show you how you can beat that. So I want just a little bit of that peeking out on the bottom, right? Just like that. That way it'll tie into the tag up above. And you know what? I'm going to do it with the dimensional here. Because, you know, making that glitter stick is sometimes kind of tricky. So see these pieces that I left dangling? Hello. Those are going to be kind of crooked here, but we can fix that. Okay. But look at that. Now it's sticking and you've got your dimensional on the back of your piece. There we go. Just like so. Okay. So we're just going to kind of build right up here. It's going to right on top as if this were a card front. But look how fun this looks on this plaid. I think it looks great. I'm going to glue this one. Okay, I'm not going to do a ton of glue because I want it to have some give, because by the time you put something in the bag here, you need it to have a little give. And so the nice thing is, look at this, we have some lines right on our bag that we can use as a guide. Let's put some more dimensionals here. Here and here. Okay, we'll add this one on. Okay, and if you feel like that's kind of coming up, you can also, you know, cheat it. That's not going to touch, but it's going to help stick that to that layer better. And now add this one on. So now what I'm doing is I'm going to give myself an even border on the sides and on the bottom. So that's what I'm looking for here. Super cute. Super, super cute. Okay, we're going to add another tree into our little village here, right in there. Just having some fun. Or we can even add some down in here, but I have more trees, not to worry. Let's see. So we have the double tree. So if I wanted to bring that, that's a little heavy. I like this littler one. These are, like I say, just a little ginormous, but maybe this, even though it's taller, it's a little big as well. All right, I'm gonna just stick with the little one for now. I'm gonna put a dimensional on it. Just add it to the little village right there, okay? And this is gonna be super cute once it gets all of its glitter glue. Gotta get it out of my little container. All right, and same thing. I'd add it to the snow banks, and it's just gonna get super cute because what's gonna happen is it's going to start to really pick up this diamond, you know, this white, pretty stuff right in here, right? Okay, so let's give it a greeting. Okay, we'll use the red again. And I grabbed Happy Holidays. It could be either, you know, it doesn't really matter because we know that both of these fit awesomely. Okay, all right, inside there. I'm a little crooked, but I'm going to put it on the thingy crooked, so it's not going to be so bad. Okay, Tara Olson says, love this. Thank you. It's kind of fun. You missed the beginning. Did you cut these out of the cards? Or no, Kayleen, these are just the way they come in the kit. These are just pieces from the kit. I haven't done anything to it. Nothing fancy there. Okay, we're going to do the same thing we've done before, and that is to use the Seal Plus to attach this to our glitter paper here. Just gonna follow their Stampin' Up's lead, their being Stampin' Up, okay? And I'm gonna turn this over and give this a good burnish. Turning it over because I didn't want to smear the ink, okay? And I'm going to take my paper piercing tool, and some of you have seen me do this before, and some of you might not. But you can use your piercing pad, but it leaves gargantuan holes. I actually like to do this to punch a hole and stuff. I like to just use my adhesive remover because it just gives you the hole that you need. And so I'm just giving myself a little hole in the corner there. I know you're going, wait, why did you do that? And I'll show you why. This is the ribbon that comes in the catalog. I think it's called Burlap Combo, or I don't know. It has red that comes with it, but this is just the burlap. And I am going to reach this around, and I need to see how much I want. I like fairly large. Oh, I'm going to use the whole thing. Look at that. In honor of using it up, we're going to use the whole thing. Okay. I love it when I use stuff up. I'm like, oh, good. Now I can buy a new color ribbon. Okay. So this is going to be in a nice big old bow, but I'm going to do myself a little favor. I'm not going to do a ton of seal. I'm just going to do just a little bit. Come on. Right on the ribbon. Come on. I know you can do this. I've done it before. There we go. So I've just got about 1.5 inches worth of ribbon on my piece there, and I'm just going to stick it on my bag. That way it just kind of, because this is so flat for right now, it's just going to kind of help me hold things in place. Okay. And this, I'm going to tie You kind of can't hunker down, but what you can do is kind of give a good twist on your ribbon here to kind of hold things in place. Tie that bow. And then I'm going to tie a little bit of linen thread, or maybe even I'll see that I have a little bit of that starry sky. It might be a little too weird to use the starry sky. But here's this. Okay, we can trim these ends just a little bit. Make them even, make them clean and sharp so we don't have any frays. Okay, and then I'm just going to add my tag right there with a little linen thread. Okay, so I said we could maybe use the blue to pick up. I think I like the blue, crazy enough. Okay, and so this little goodie bag is now ready. And I like to have some little goodie bags like this ready. Whoops, it doesn't want to go through the hole. The little teeny tiny hole that I've made. You can use a hole punch, but I have been using my piercing tool because my hole punch isn't handy. You know, you make it work. Okay, come on. Now go all the way in. We're going to be waiting 20 years just for this to go through. Oh, good. It went that time. And then, so I take this, and then I'm just going to take a small piece of the starry sky, and I'm just going to reach in. And I like to reach in the back end. I'm just going to reach that right in. Bring this up and around. And then I take both ends here. I don't tie another bow because it's already got a bow. I have this thing about having a bow with a bow. Should only be one in my book opinion, but hey, there's no right and wrong in paper crafting, right? Okay, so there's that. And now I have a cute little bag ready to go. And if I feel like that's maybe too low, I can just kind of pick this up, that little bit of glue that I had on there, just to kind of help me in place. It's on the ribbon, so I can slide this up just a little bit. But I needed it like I needed kind of like a third finger to help me hold things in place. But super cute, you know, it's a cute little bag that you can, you know, if you want to secure that in place so it stays the way you like it, you can, or just let it kind of, you know, be, you know, a little whimsical and free. But look how cute that would be once it's filled with something, you know, maybe you're giving a little pack of cards to somebody or something, but super cute, super cute. Use up that ribbon that you have, and your treat bags. If you have them, don't let them just sit in the package, right? So there's that. And I'm going to do another card here. Got 2 more projects for you. So my notes. This card, I am using another one of the bags. Okay, so this is the Pebbled Path version of the bag. And the first thing I want to do to this is I'm going to put the bottom edge at 3.5, and I'm going to score it. But I'm going to score fairly gently because these bags are, you know, they're not cardstock, so you don't want to, you know, pierce it too heavily. So we're just going to fold that. And so that 3.5 happens to make it like fold right in half. Super cool. Where did my bone folder go? I've lost my bone folder. Oh, shoot, Queen. Oh, there it is. Nowhere near where I normally put it. Okay, so I've just got a nice crisp fold in that. And I have lots of pieces here. Let's see here. Lots of pieces. I have a piece of Old Olive. I have a card base of Night of Navy. And I have some whites and some navy as well. So we'll go over all these measurements in just a minute. But let's just start with our card base. This one, it's just a normal card base. It's 8.5 by 5.5. And I've scored it at 4.25. Okay, 8.5, 5.5, 4.25. And we've given it a good fold already, but we'll give that a good burnish. And then my Old Olive here is 3 3/4 wide. Double check. Yep. 3 3/4 wide, by 5 inches tall. And it's going to mat right on top of our card base. So far, super simple. All of these cards and projects today are a little bit, you know, sometimes I like to go way over the top, sometimes all the time, but, you know, just making some fun, cute, pretty projects that will have me prepped for the holidays that I can just grab and go. And this would be a good one that if you wanted, you can actually, when we get finished, I'll show you, it can actually be, you can hold 2 gift cards in it once you see how we're going to do things. And it's also a greeting card at the same time. So it's a combo pack here. So what I'm going to do is, I told you you could have 2 pockets. So I am going to just put some glue, little glue on the top and the bottom of the bag that I folded in half. It's kind of hard to see, but now I'm going to just glue that shut. And so you'll have a little bit of, it pops up just a little. Can you see how it's got, but that's okay, because then people can easily see that you've got a card or something in there. And now we'll take this whole piece of our card, our bag here, and just glue that to our Old Olive Night of Navy card here. Let me see. Okay, had to make sure I was opening the right direction. I've done it many times. Okay, and I like that green cap. It gives me just a few seconds to wiggle things around. Okay, so there are my layers for the front. Now these 2 layers here, these are going to be for your gift card, and they're going to slip in this section here. These measurements, let's take a look at these. So our white is 2 3/4 by, it's kind of a crazy measurement, 2 3/4 by 4 1/8. 4 1/8 tall. And then this layer here is going to be 1/4 of an inch bigger. So if we were 2 3/4, so this one is 3 inches by 4 3/8. And I'm pretty sure about that. Yep, I was right. I've made a couple of these so far. So review, 2 3/4 by 4 1/8 for your white. And that's so that it fits in the bag, all right? And then this one here is going to be 3 inches by 4 3/8, okay? So that's gonna go there. But we're gonna zhuzh that up a little bit. And for this card, we are going to be using one of the cards. Remember I said we would use one of these. And so what I'm using for this one is, I just think it's kind of fun to just come in and chop these apart. But I wanted a piece, and so I have cut a piece, and I think it's kind of like right in here, I guess. I don't know, I was chopping things up and making different things, and it was a scrap. So just find yourself a section of the card that you like, and I'll give you the measurement on this. But that's what I did. I think it comes from right there. And you're going, why would you? Because I have them on different projects. Different projects from another class. Okay, so this piece here, we are going to be adding to the front of our bag, right like that, okay? We just want to be careful that we don't put too much glue right there. So I'm actually going to put dimensionals on this, but I just want to make sure that I don't put them on that one side, too close on that one side. So I'm going to kind of put them right here and here, again, so that it doesn't, because it is going to overlap on that, but I don't want it to stick it down, if you know what I mean. Okay, Diana, welcome. Welcome to a crazy class of paper crafting. Okay, so this is going to just sit centered right in there like so, okay? And just make sure that you still have access to that pocket. Yep, I do. Okay, so hopefully that made sense where I pulled this, you know, really pretty piece. I feel like I'm a little low. I am just a little, as I picked it up and got a better look. So the camera is right where my head is. And so I'd like to, but I can't because the camera's in the way, to get a good overhead look. But There we go. I think that's a little better. Okay, get this out of the way. And I have a few extra pieces here. So Stylish Shapes pretty much never leaves my desk. I don't ever put it away because I always have to just go get it. So I have Stylish Shapes out. And then I also, in some colors here, I used the Chic dies to cut myself some snowflakes. And so these two are Orchid Oasis. And let's see, I have one in silver, one in Old Olive, another one in Old Olive, and another one in silver. So this card, though, you could use snowflakes, you could use stars, you could use boughs, you could use holly, mistletoe, anything Christmassy or wintry that you have. So I have the Chic dies, and so that's what I'm going to use to finish up and zhuzh up this card and this combo pack. And I'm going to do just a little bit of stamping to make things just a little bit different than normal. I'm going to use my Night of Navy, so we're going to change up the color just a little bit here. I'm going to kind of clear some space. And I am going to use the Merry Christmas greeting, but I'm going to clean it because we've been using it in red, and I want to switch to Night of Navy. I kind of feel like this would be a good one it's a good guy card, you know, if you want to give a guy a gift card and then sign it on the inside. So we're going to start with Night of Navy. Let me bring in my Stampin' piece here and my label. So this is that label from Stylish Shapes. So it's not the smallest one. It's that one that kind of fits around the smallest one when you put it back away. And so this first thing I'm going to do is I am going to just carefully ink up here. I'm just going to ink up the Christmas first. It was easier for me to do Christmas because I'm going to center that. So I'm inking up Christmas, making sure, and I could come in there with some tape. But you know what, you guys? I am out of tape. I ran out of Scotch tape last night because I would usually just come in there with a little Scotch tape and then not worry about anything. Okay, I'm going to stamp Christmas here at the bottom. Just like that. You could even cut them apart. I've done that a lot with photopolymer stamps. One cut, and then you can easily still put it right back together because you have just that one cut, right? Okay, so that Christmas is clean. So now we'll do the same thing with the Merry. And I'll ink up just Merry. Because I do like this option right here a lot, to be able to change it so it's not just a horizontal greeting, but I can also use it vertically. And so I'm going to kind of bring this, and it's going to kind of offset just a little bit right over the Christmas. Look how cute that goes together. Ah, I like customizing stamps and dies to do just that. Customize it, make it my own. Okay, so there is that. Let's do what? Let me let that dry because it's blue and it has this, you know, little. Anyhow, let's do the same thing. And this piece here, we're going to glue this. So these two pieces we talked about the size earlier, but for now I'm going to bring in Boho Blue and the snowflake image. Okay, and I'm going to just stamp several snowflakes. I'm not going to go overboard. Here's my scratch paper. I'm not going to go overboard, but I'm just going to do several here, going off the page here and there. And this is going to be the layer that you could stick your gift card to, okay? So I'm just kind of giving myself a few so that they peek out once you put, you know, your little gift card on top, right? That was a pretend gift card. So not a whole lot, just because the gift card is going to be there. And you don't want it to be too crazy. Okay, let's see here. We'll glue. And we'll put this right on the top. Ugh, it just got ink on it. Where did I get the ink? Okay, what do you do when you get ink on it? If you come to it quick enough with a sand eraser, sometimes you can get that off, and then sometimes it is just there and part of the project, right? I'm gonna work it just a second longer, see if I can get it to go away. And you know what I did? I added more. Where is it? Okay, well, we'll stop battling an unwinnable fight. Okay, here we go. So now what I want to do is this is going to slip inside, right, into our bag, right in there. But I need it to have kind of a pull on it so that people know to pull it out. And so I am going to use, this is the gold and silver 1/8 inch trim combo pack. And I'm going to use the silver on this one. Okay. And we'll take this right in here. And I am, frustrates me that I got ink there. Drives me nuts sometimes, you know. Okay. And so I wish I had my hole punch, but I don't. So I'm going to use my trusty piercing tool. And we're just going to kind of find center. All right. And I'm going to kind of go through. Let me turn it this way. Better angle on center. And I am kind of going through up here. Okay. Just giving that a good. Okay. And you won't see that back by the time we get the ribbon through. And we're just going to give this a good tie. Just tie a regular old bow. This ribbon, I've done it earlier. I'm not doing it today. But what's cool about it is it kind of has a dark silver on the edges and then light in the middle. And then the back, it's all solid dark silver. But what's cool is to take your blends and color this. And it colors up in so many different colors so easily. Both colors take a Stampin' Blend really well. Highly recommend this ribbon. It's in the online exclusives, if you're wondering where it is. Okay, so I'm just going to kind of wiggle my bow right over my funky pierced hole. Wiggle the knot of the bow over the hole. Okay, so just arrange this to your preference, your styling. Get that going. And I'm going to pull these up, make sure they're even. They're a little bit off. Okay, just like that. Cover up my mechanics. And now somebody knows that there's something there that they can pull out and retrieve some fun stuff in there, if you know what I mean. Okay, so you've got your ribbon there. Now let's just add our pieces that are left. Okay. And so this is going to come on here like this. We're not going to do anything too wild and crazy. We're just going to arrange our snowflakes here. We're just going to kind of have some fun. I'm going to kind of put my 2 larger ones in. And actually, I think I'm going to do this. I'm going to put this one on top. Okay. And maybe we have a silver one up in here. We're just going to do a spray of maybe that one. I think I'm going to do it down here. And then we have a blue one and a green one. There, we've kind of spread the colors throughout. And so let's just kind of, once I kind of see where I want things, then I feel okay to go in and go, okay, I'm going to put them on for real. So I have my mini dimensionals here so that I can use some minis on these smaller snowflakes. Gonna just do one there. And another one. Oops. Kind of need to make it so it doesn't show. If you know what I mean. So yesterday, I didn't know what, I just went and cut out a whole bunch of snowflakes. I don't know what I'm going to do with them, but I cut them out in these colors, a whole bunch, just so they would match these cards. And so who knows what I'm going to do with it, but that's what the intention was for. So I have those 2 on. Now let's kind of look at these here. And so for this, I'm going to go ahead and put my dimensionals on the back of this circle. Okay. Do one more to balance it. Right in there. And I'm not doing anything to this circle, but I want to make sure that it doesn't, okay, that might be a little high. Come down just a little bit. Okay, and now this one's going to go on top. Okay, go right in here. But if you remember, I said I wanted this blue one, and so maybe I can catch it. And I think I'm going to kind of offset this just a little bit. Nope, I can't catch it, so I'm going to just do a little glue on this one. And I'll just kind of, too much glue. Shoot, I hate that. But I take scraps like this and just clean it up. Okay, and now I'm going to tuck this inside here. So that one kind of works in that area. Okay, I feel like my bow is lopsided. It is. This side's big. Okay. We overanalyze sometimes, right? Our own projects. And this one I think I'll tuck underneath just for variation. And you know what? This piece that had a whole bunch of glue on it, just going to use it. A little bit more. Tuck that right under like that. Now you don't even see all that glue. Let's put this one on with a mini since we put the other littles on with minis. We'll set that one right in there. Still trying to decide, do I want it under or no, I want it under. It's a little too much on top. And then this one here, it's sticking because it's it's that paper. It just discontinued in the last day or so. This is the sticky back. I had a lot of it. So I think I'm gonna have to cut my dimensional down just a little bit. But I do want it on a dimensional. I want it to have a little bit of lift. Hopefully that'll be enough. Just like that. Cool. And then we'll have this one kind of just poking right into there. Maybe lift this one a little higher. Bring it around. You know, sometimes you just kind of have to readjust a little bit just to balance things out. But super pretty. I love these snowflakes with this paper. And it already has the stickles on there. So there's a lot of sparkle action already happening here. If you want, you could add a little bit. I don't think I would do the glitter glue on this one just because it already has some going. I would maybe come in with my Wink of Stella just because I'm kind of like crazy about Wink of Stella. And maybe just come in here and hit this Orchid Oasis snowflake and this one here, just so that it too has some shine to it, just like some of the others. And I could still give Wink of Stella to a guy. It wouldn't bother me. It's not full-on glitter, but there's that. I think this is super pretty. Okay, just a fun card. Love the colors. And then for the inside, just keeping it easy here, folks, using what we have is to maybe get that dimensional cover out of there. What we're going to do is, this is just 4 by 5 1/4. So just your usual size. I'm going to bring that boho blue in and the snowflake image. I'm going to bring Night of Navy back as well, because that was our greeting on the front. And we'll stamp this. I mean, we have this great image here. And so I'll stamp the image, the greeting image in Night of Navy. Okay. Hopefully I'm kind of straight and centered. Loving it. And now let's just hug the greeting here with just a few snowflakes. And I'm going to do 3 friends and 1 friend far away. Okay, just like that. I like that. I mean, it's clean, it's straightforward, but it's, you know, we've paid attention to the inside. And then we'll take this and glue this in. And to bring just a little bit of added sparkle to the inside, I am going to flick my Wink of Stella. Because I have this crazy thing for sparkle. I don't know why. I mean, can you, fingernails, my people that do my nails, they're like, no sparkles this month? Every now and again. But there's a little added sparkle there. All right. So Terry says, you have given some great ideas for this paper pumpkin kit. It's fun. And I mean, really, what I'm using on this paper pumpkin kit is from this kit is just the stamps. All the other stuff I've borrowed from other things. So there's your gift card holder right there. And you have that second spot. If you wanted to, you have another spot right down in there. So just FYI, or it's just a nice pretty layer. Okay, so there's that. All right, I have one more project. Hang in there with me because this is cool. I am going to use, these are the nested treat boxes. Okay, nested treat boxes. And, whoops, and you get 8 in a pack. And so you have a top lid and a bottom lid. And the outsides of these have, they're not quite as porous as the inside because, I mean, they are more porous than the outside. The inside. The inside is food safe. It's a little waxy. The outside is perfect for stamping, which we're not going to do at all. All right. Instead, what we're going to do is we're going to get 2 of the envelopes from the kit. So grab yourself 2 envelopes. And it's okay if you waste 2 envelopes on this project because we've cut up and made tags and made different things, so we won't need the envelopes, right? So you're going to use 2 envelopes, and we're going to cut the flaps off of both. Okay, so you need both flaps. So I need 1. Use that. It's a decent color white for some things if you need it. Okay, there's that. And while I've got my trimmer out, I'm going to kind of even these up just a little bit. I'm just taking that edge off. And I'm going to turn this over, kind of take that edge off. Just taking that corner off, squaring them up just a little bit. And I want 2.5 inch pieces. And that's almost right down the middle. There's a 2.5 inch piece. Here comes another 2.5 inch piece. Okay, and yes, they're not square on the bottom, but that's okay. Hang with me. Now let's do that again. I'm just getting 2.5 inch pieces out of this. So I'm taking those sides off so that I can have a straight corner and I can see what I'm doing, right? So same thing, just take that little dude off. Just makes it a little bit easier. It gives me a straight edge and I can come in here. And I need 2.5, and this one needs to be 2.5. It's close. All right. So all these little scraps, those are trashiola. All right. That looks like more than 2.5. But it's not. 2.5. Then I also want to grab, and I have just a little bit of Glorious Gingham left in my stash of supplies. This is Blueberry Bushel Glorious Gingham, and I want 2 pieces that are 2.5 inch square. So there's 2.5 inch wide, and then I want 2.5 and 2.5. Okay. So that's our cutting for this. And what we're going to do, this is the box bottom, and the box bottom has the notch in it. So we're going to just go ahead and fold on all the score lines and put our bottom together. But before we put our bottom together, we're going to put a piece of DSP on the bottom. Okay? Now, This box, I'm not going to do it as where we're pulling it out like a drawer. We're going to do it a little bit more like a top-bottom box, because basically we're kind of creating an ornament slash gift box. So I'm going to take one of my pieces, and you can use either side. I kind of like this littler print because to me it fits the scale of the houses in the kit. Okay, I got to give my my glue a bit of a clean. It just gets all kind of, when I'm just doing projects, it doesn't, but when I'm like doing a live, for some reason my glue tip, I start to get carried away and it gets all gross. Okay, so far so good. We're just putting a fun piece of DSP on the bottom of the box. So the inside, I was trying to say, is food safe, right? So it has a little bit of a slickery. My mother-in-law used to use that word, slickery. It's a little smoother. The outside is has just a little bit more porousness to it, and so you can easily, stamp it. In fact, I have stamped some of these boxes, and they stamp super nice. I'm impressed with how they take ink. Okay, so I'm just peeling off the backing of the tabs that they have provided, and then just kind of fold these in, and just one at a time, just bring that up and make sure you're nice and square as you do that. These boxes are very easy, very easy to put together. They're user friendly. And then this one, so our box bottom is all done. What do you think of that? Ooh, ah. There's nothing done. Okay, so I'm done with that. Now let's work on our box top. And so the top is just a little bit bigger than the rest of the box. And so for now, we're going to glue these, and it doesn't really matter the order, okay? We're gonna glue them to each of these flaps, just like that, okay? We will cover the other, don't worry. I just wanted some night sky in this. So add your envelope flaps, okay? And I'm just gonna go right up to the score line, okay? We'll just work ourselves all the way around. Easy peasy. Okay. A couple more. And then we'll put our other piece is gonna go on that top, and then we can assemble the box. Oops, I lied. Oh. The dogs have to go out and charge the backyard. Somebody's walking back there. Hey, Livy, go outside and bark. She went outside. Good. Don't need her in here. Okay, so when I said I lied, there is one more thing we're going to do before we assemble the box. And it's important that this last step that we do it before we put the box together, because it's going to be hard to do it once the box is assembled. Okay, so that fits in there just like that. You will have a little bit of a white edge in there, but that's okay. So the part that I said we would be done, but then I said no, is we're going to poke a hole. And this is where you do need, because getting a hole punch there, unless you have an anywhere hole punch, I do somewhere, but I don't remember where. We're going to give ourselves, use our piercing tool to just get ourselves a nice hole right in the center of the box. Okay? So just take that and really work it around. Okay, so now you have a hole in the top of your box. Now we can come through and let's fold on all the score lines. Give them a good burnish. Everything folds inward. And then we'll peel these little backing pieces off and we'll assemble our box. There's one. So have you guys purchased these boxes? Have you used any? Okay. It might be 10 boxes, not 8. I don't remember. but I sure like them. They're kind of fun. Okay, so there's my first side. And we'll get this one going as well. Just make sure they're square. See how easy they are to put together? Fold these two inward. Oh, I spoke too soon. Oh, talk about strong tape. Yeah, really fold them inward so you don't accidentally catch like I did. Okay, so there is my top. And so sometimes when you design these, you can do them this way and have it so that, you know, they nest this way and you can pull it out like that. But I'm going to make mine a little different. And so mine are going together like, I'm going to rotate it one time. There we go. So mine are going together like that. So a top and a bottom, all right? And so I'll just leave that in there for now. I'll be taking it out in a minute so that I can work with that hole. But now what we're going to do is we're going to use some pieces from the kit. We're going to use several things here. So I have, this is from the portrait designed card. So we have these two houses, and then we have this set of houses as well. So what I do need to do though is trim these down. So this one here, I am going to take off the bottom. I'm going to take off, let me see here. It's more than, I didn't want to take too much off, okay? So on this one, we're going to take off. So basically, this is a 2.5-inch square. So this roof, and I'm actually gonna, let me flip this way so that I have a straight edge here. And so here is 2.5. It needs to be under 2.5. So I'm gonna take this and chop that bottom right off, okay? So that the tallest point is 2.5 inches tall. So let's do the same thing here. My tallest point is 2.5. Okay, that one's a little higher right there. So we're gonna take this off. Okay. And the only reason I flipped my thing around was so that you guys could see what I was doing. So this one's gonna end up taking more off because it's a lot taller. But here's my 2.5-inch mark. So let me come in just a little bit. And I'm taking that off the bottom. Let's try and get it square, girlfriend, here. Okay, it's about 1.25 inches off that you need to cut off on that one. Okay, so now I have all my houses ready. And I also have a tag and the glitter paper. We'll use that in a minute at the very end. But what I want to focus on now are these 3 sets of houses. You're also going to need some of the trees from the kit. We don't know which ones just yet, but we'll figure it out. Okay, so I'm going to start on one end here. And I think I'm going to start on this end right here, because then if I bring this in here, what will happen is I still have sky, but it'll cover up that wreath real nice and easy. So I am going to put this on. Now you can do it with dimensionals, or you can do it with glue. I think that my first one I did was with dimensionals, and it's okay, but we'll see here. But let's, you have to decide right now, because your dimensionals, it's gonna make things a little different on your thickness. Let's go ahead and do dimensionals. So I'll bring my dimensionals in here. And so I've got a dimensional there. And don't put them on all the way around, because we're gonna be turning this around the box, if you know what I mean. So this goes here and here. And I'm not gonna pull my dimensionals off just yet, but I'm gonna kind of bring this on my box and give a little bit of where that fold line's gonna be. Okay, and I'm just gonna kind of burnish that in with my fingers. So I've got a nice, clean, crisp turn there. And that almost goes all the way around. We're not going to cut that off. We're going to leave that there, okay? So let's go ahead and put dimensionals on this side as well. So we just kind of have to work ourselves around. We're not going to peel them just yet. And that was a puppy. That was a pretty big bark for these little guys. Notice I kind of, because I have that edge right there that I know goes around the corner. So this goes around the corner like so. Then we have our dimensionals on. That's where we're going to use a tree. So I'm going to bend this one around, and we'll give that a clean, crisp edge. Fold there. Okay. Let's go ahead and get a tree while we have access. I'm going to grab a little tree. Keep grabbing the big ones. Maybe that's all I have left. Oh, no, here they are. I have a whole bunch of little ones left. Okay, so let me just take a look at it. So this is the panel for right in here. Your Cocker Spaniel's perked up. Yeah, the other day, oh gosh, last week I was doing a live, and one of the dogs got their leg caught in a door. And she was just super upset, and it upset somebody else's dog. Okay, so I'm doing the same thing here with my tree. I need to cover that much of it. And this is going to be tricky. So I'm just going to kind of fold that and have it go around the corner. So just kind of train it, and then you can give it a nice crisp fold. And this one I'm going to glue for sure. Yeah, but I mean, it was just, you know, this puppy's, they'll be 5 weeks. I mean, they were 5 weeks old. They'll be 6 weeks tomorrow. And so, yeah, just wailing. Then I felt terrible that I didn't realize her leg was stuck. Okay, there's that. And this one does come around. So see, we've covered that wreath, and we're coming around the edge here. And so what I think I'll do is I think I will glue this one, but all the others we can stick on, okay? And then we'll just keep working ourselves around the box with these other two pieces. Okay, but so that's that section. I need to backtrack to there. So we're going to cover this one. All right, like so. We've got our fold. And then this one comes on. And now I'm going to put just a little bit of glue on that tab, and we'll finish this side, and then we'll work the other two sides. Easy enough, right? And then we'll finish it with some ribbon on top, and it's kind of an ornament slash box. But the first one I did them in sections, and I didn't go around the corner. And I sure like around the corner is so much cleaner than it being, yeah. So that's why doing that second one, having that second attempt on something always makes it look a little better. Okay, so now this one here, I might save that. Let's see how this one starts and stops. Might come in here, and if this one comes around the corner, and then this one, just trying to see how this one's going to finish. Okay, so I know it's kind of crazy, but here's what I'm going to do. I am going to bring in my paper trimmer here. I'm not going to cut this edge off. Instead, I am going to make myself a tiny little fold because I want that to go around to the other side. And so I'm just going to do a score line, not a cut. And it's going to clean things up. Okay, that. And then I think it needs to be, I'm going to go ahead and just trim that off. So what I've done is, so this area from the score line over is about 2.5 inches. And then I have a 1/4 inch right there. And the reason I've done that 1/4 inch is because as I come into this side, I can clean this up. I'm going to tuck that underneath like so. And then that way I don't have as raw of an edge, okay? Or, and since the tree didn't go all the way over, yeah, that's gonna be perfect. So we'll put that one in there. It's just colliding with a dimensional in there at the moment. So we'll just go like this. So I'm out of the way of the dimensional rather than lifting that dimensional. Oh yeah, perfect fit. Look at that. So that'll be that side. And then we'll take our houses and let's see how we're gonna finish this other side. Maybe some trees come around. Yep, I'm gonna do that. Okay, so here's what I'm gonna do. I'm going to just, see how it has that straight edge right there? I'm gonna just kind of make it look like the rest of the die cut, just like that. Okay, and so I've got dimensional covers that are sticking on everything. We fit that piece in, and then we're gonna have trees that overlap there, right? And this, I'm gonna try and fit this. We're gonna start it right on the edge. Okay, so just right there. Okay, I've got to do it with dimensionals because it makes the thickness just a little bit different, right? So here we go. And then I'll get my fold in there. So you get where this is going, folks, right? You got it a long time ago. Okay, so it looks like my fold is going to be right there, okay? So I just want to train this one, give it a nice crisp fold to go around that corner. So this will go here. And I'm not going to stick those trees down just yet because this one slips inside, right? Okay, so let me put this one on. This one's going on. So ribbon-wise for the top of this, I am going to use the navy glittered ribbon, this stuff here. Super pretty. It totally brings out the windows of these houses. Notice I've left this one undone because this one's going to go underneath and this one glues. So let me get my dimensionals ready here first. Okay, and I'm going to put glue on this tab. Okay, and I think I'm going to do one dimensional right there. Okay, we're in the home stretch, folks. So I'm going to slip that one in first. So that cleans up my raw edge there on that corner. And then this one's going down with dimensionals, right? And then this one's going to have dimensionals. But I think I'm going to hold off because I need to do a couple trees right in there. And so let's try one of these duo trees. And if we fold that right in half down the middle, I think we're going to be in the money for covering that wreath. Okay. And the wreath is great, but we don't have wreaths up in the sky, although it doesn't look that bad because it kind of goes together. I don't know. Okay, but I'm going to cover them just because I did before, and so I will this time. So I'm stuck. Okay, there you have it. Oh, I bent it. Shoot, Queen. Oh, a little glue. That'll heal it. Make it better. And this last one, you know, I've kind of got a lot of tree action. I might even cut one of these trees off. But for time's sake, I'm just going to put this on with a dimensional. Okay, so now we have worked ourselves all the way around the box. Okay, it's kind of cute, kind of fun, a little village box. Didn't need this little tree after all. And so now I'm going to take the lid off, maybe. if I can do it. Yeah, she can do it. Okay, and I'm going to take one loop of ribbon. This is about, I don't know, 12 inches long. Okay, and I'm going to take and I'm going to poke my ribbon. Let me see if I can get it nice and narrow here. So I can go right through the hole there. Yeah, right. Might have to take my piercing tool. Actually. It cracks me up when those little things bark. Okay, reach in and grab those. And I'm just going to tie a knot. And then I'll pull it back, the loop tight, you know. So I'm just tying a knot here. And then I'll, like I say, I'll pull it back up against the top. Okay, so there's my knot. And now I can just pull that and it'll stop right there in the box. Okay. So now I can put my lid back on my goodie box here. Okay. So cute, you guys. It is super, super cute. We're going to make it even cuter. And that is, we're going to take another decent piece, you know, probably about 20 inches or so, because I'd rather not fumble away and not have enough ribbon. But now I'm going to take this and I'm going to tie a bow right around here and give it another bow so that there's an actual bow on top. And it'll give some verticality to our box, so it's not quite so, you know, just short. So I've got a bow going here. And then I'm going to just put a tag on it because, you know, little present needs a tag, right? So let me just trim this end. So just kind of go with it. That's the way the bow wants to go. But it's cute. Now to finish it real fast, we're going to do a Happy Holidays or a Merry Christmas. I'm going to do it in Night of Navy. Okay, looks like I've grabbed Happy Holidays. We'll give this a quick clean and we're almost done, folks. We'll do a quick review of everything we've made with the Home from the Holidays kit. Okay, there's that. All right, and we will get this to dry real quick. Dry! Some of this awesome Seal Plus to stick it to our tag. Okay, and I'm going to punch a hole in it again with my, because I don't have my hole punch out. So I'm just using my handy dandy piercing tool. And I'm going to go in this corner this time, just kind of like right there. And again, we'll do, you can do linen thread, you can do whatever you have on hand. This one was closest by. I have just a little bit of that starry sky left. That would be cute too. But anyhow, here's some linen thread. Just bring it up and around and give it a quick tie. And how cute is this? Oh my goodness, it is so cute, finished off with a tag. And of course, you have to go in with your little Stickles glue and finish it off, all right? So you could even put a bigger tag if you wanted, but I think it's cute. I think it's a little different, but fun little box, okay? So there is our box, our gift box. We have our gift card combo pack here. So a gift card and a greeting card all in one. We made that. We also did, using another one of the bags, we have our bag. I really like this. I mean, look how great the wild wheat looks. You know, sometimes we're afraid of wild wheat. I am not afraid of wild wheat, not at all. Okay, we have our fun fold here. Okay, super cute. We have our kind of a faux stair-step card. We all decided we liked it with the flap so that you had a spot to write, and it stands it up, it finishes it. I really, really like this one a lot. Looks great in real life. We've made a couple tags. Love tags. Can never have too many tags, right? And we have made just a Dutch door, you know, just product from the kit, keeping it super quick and simple. All right, that is it. Tara Olson says she loves wild wheat. Yes, I do too. There you have it. I will photo these later today after I get the glitter on them and they're dry, and I'll post them here on my Seeing Ink Spots page. Don't forget, we have lots and lots of classes. Ask me how to join the Backstage Pass. I would absolutely love to have you join us. Thanks, Lois, for being, you stuck it out through the entire class. And share, if you make something, post, you just kind of shoot me a comment. I'll post it on my page. It'd be fun to see what everybody's making. I will catch you next month for an Upstyle, or next week, or actually 2 weeks, for our Use It Up class. Take care, folks, and happy stamping. You're welcome, Kat. Glad you were here. Bye-bye.